President Trump has gone from demanding unconditional surrender to suggesting that he'll jointly run the Strait of Hormuz with the Ayatollah. Or maybe it's all just a big head fake so the Marines can launch a ground invasion over the weekend. In a moment, Bill O'Reilly joins us on if Trump is ending the war too early, the mooch on who is winning the shutdown messaging war as Trump deploys ICE agents to America's largest airports. Then, this is a good question. Find me an issue that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the left, Eric Erickson and Michael Knowles on the right can all agree on. I bet you will be surprised. But first, our Why It Matters segment tonight. Like most Americans 3 weeks into the war, I am confused. Even the people who want to support President Trump and the troops and believe Iran is an existential threat to the world don't know what they're supporting. Is this about unconditional surrender, regime change, controlling the Strait of Hormuz, Iran giving up its nukes? A whopping 57% of Americans now say the military operation in Iran is going badly. Now, that is objectively untrue. The United States military is doing nothing short of extraordinary, as is the Israelis in 3 weeks in Iran. So yes, part of that number is the media coverage. But another part is we don't know how to judge it. It's going well or badly against what? Is the Iranian regime so evil that they need to be wiped off the face of the earth? I would say yes. Or is it that the new Ayatollah and President Trump are going to share the Strait of Hormuz? Trump suggested that earlier.
What about the Strait of Hormuz? Who's going to be in control of that?
That'll be opened very soon if this works.
How soon? And who's in control of it? Will Iran still be able to control the flow of oil?
Be jointly controlled.
By who?
Maybe me. Maybe me.
You want the United States to be in
me
control
and the Ayatollah, whoever the Ayatollah is.
No, we certainly don't control the Strait of Hormuz right now. Trump backed away from his 48-hour deadline to reopen the strait, or America would start bombing Iran's power stations. Now, Trump and Iran, according to the president, are having great talks.
We are in the throes of a real possibility of making a deal, and I think if I were a betting man, I'd bet for it. But again, I'm not guaranteeing anything. They want to make a deal very bad. So the discussions took place yesterday. They went into yesterday evening. They want very much to make a deal. We'd like to make a deal, too.
Now there's a 5-day deadline. And to be fair, 5 days is when the USS Tripoli arrives with the Marine Expeditionary Force. The Jerusalem Post reports a massive movement of American ground forces into the Middle East, including the 82nd Airborne. So, is the Iranian regime so evil that they need to be wiped off the face of the earth? Or not? Nobody in the White House was weighing deals with the Nazis as allies were bombing Berlin. In fact, the deals that were made with Hitler turned out to be disasters. World War II had universal support in America because we were against evil. We knew the goal, unconditional surrender. Iran knows they can hurt Trump with oil prices, and now he's negotiating with them. That shows Iran weakness. As we've told you countless times before, all the regime needs to do in order to win is to survive. 10 months ago, the Israeli prime minister told Trump not to end the war against Iran. Netanyahu knew the Iranians would break any deal they made. The Iranians offered Trump an easy victory. He took it, and here we are again. Now Trump is talking about a 15-point plan. Let me see if I can put this in perspective after having spent 4 years in the Middle East. Giving Iran a 15-point plan is like inviting an alcoholic to a bar with 15 specialty cocktails. It's 15 ways for them to break the deal. Confusion is war in weakness. Confusion is why nearly half of Americans believe it's acceptable to leave Iran's current leadership in power. That is a stunning number. The American people are confused right now. Taking out a regime that chants death to America and wants a nuclear weapon makes sense. Negotiating with them right now does not.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.